Starting with the dressage, I thought he did a fantastic test. He's naturally very good at that phase, and so I was really happy with how that went. And then cross country, he handled all the questions really well. Everything he read and was spot on there, and he had a few time penalties, but still strong enough to hold the lead overnight. Going into the show jumping, I had an advantage of riding the course 3 times before I got on power, so I had a good feel of it. And so he just nicked one rail, and my other horse jumped clear, and they ended up first and second.
And I know you've been working on your show jumping with Powell quite a bit this season. Can you talk about that and what you feel that's helped you, and especially in this class?
Just on myself, basically. It's just I've been focusing on my show jumping as a rider and training with Richard Peckin, and he's helped me a great deal, and got a lot of thanks to him to get me to where I am right now.
Perfect. And can you talk about your ride on Bennett too?
Okay, yeah. So Bennett is he's probably one of the quickest cross-country horses I've got in the barn, and so his stronger phases are the jumping, and so we're always working on producing a better test. He's very rideable, and you can be quite accurate. He's not the biggest mover, but he's still he's capable of getting in the top spots. So I was happy with his test. He was up there after the dressage, and he was my first ride out in the cross country, and he ended up being my fastest ride. He 6 time penalties, I think, and then show jump clear. So that was a great result for him.
And what does it mean to you to win this class?
It's pretty awesome. I think it's pretty special to be able to take the national title at the top level, and to give the recognition to the owners and the breeders of the horse. It's an American bred horse, bred by Summit. Bred by Allyn English, owned by Summit Sport Horses, and I've had him since a 4-year-old, and it's pretty good to have a horse from that age and win at the top.
And Doug and Diver had a great go too, had an awesome cross country run yesterday. Can you talk about the week as a whole and what your plan was going into the course today?
Yeah, sure. I want to first off thank Debbie Crowley, who Red and Rose, who are partners with us with him now. We've had him for just a bit over a year, so said a bit earlier, just starting to get to a point where it can kind of experiment and really sort of take stuff on. All last year we were just chasing qualifications to get to Kentucky in the spring. But I think he's got a boatload of potential, and coming into it, you'd hope that you'd end up talking to you guys here today, right? Dressage, he tends to get a little bit tense, and he was a bit affected by all the surroundings and everything, and so he's in 10th, and I said, forget, we'll just take a shot at it yesterday. And he's got a great gallop and quite a careful horse. Cross country, really don't have to mess with him too much. And he's spectacular, really. Coming into today into show jumping, I felt pretty confident. We were showing here last week actually to get their feet wet basically and bring him here. So he won a class in the 130s last week here in the same ring. And if he's going to have a rail, it's going to be back rail and ox, or generally in a combination. I would have banked on the triple at the end, but it does happen. It's something we're working on, and but I can't fault him. I mean, if we're driving here and come Tuesday they said we can finish up third here, then I'll try to take that. So.
Awesome. And Mark, obviously our first event here at Tryon for the Adventures. Can you talk about this week and the plans moving forward and how you felt it went as an organization and for the venue?
Sure. Before I start, I want to just comment on Doug's rail. That rail cost him $15,000. We talked about it. Just to show you how we distinguish this organization is we're going to gift him that rail. So
I can
after
jump
you
dirty
take a
and think
picture,
about it.
you give the rail to him. He's going to put it in his barn and stare at that rail and know that Ryan beat him. So hopefully next year he can come back and do that. So
Yeah, I'll never forget it.
as an added benefit, we're going to Sharon's going to design a T-shirt that says I came to Tryon and all I got was this crummy rail. And hopefully that'll be a big seller to fund this venue.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about that. So anyway, in all seriousness, we're very excited about this event, and I want to thank first of all the sponsors, Tryon, Adequan, Land Rover, Coca-Cola, others that have been here. I want to thank the United States Vetting Association. This was a tricky selection of this venue because in many ways there was no cross-country course here, and I think they took a lot of heat for placing a bet on us. And I think that in many ways when people place bets on us, we take it very seriously and really try to deliver. And not without mistakes here and there and challenges along the way, but we're very excited about sort of the outcome. I think you measure it in the context of almost 700 horses were entered in the event or had entries or starters. Bottom line is, I believe that all 700 horses sort of came out without incident, which is a great success in many ways. And I think one rider had an unfortunate concussion, but she's healthy. So from my perspective, having that becomes a great success. I think to show and demonstrate, these athletes who I think really are put to a test in many ways. I don't think really this discipline is as profiled in many questions about how difficult it is and how challenging these athletes and the risks they take to be top of their game. And so, for us, we spend a lot of time in show jumping. I think have done very well there in developing the sport and creating, some of the best prize money in the world. Dressage, with the Global Dressage Festival, has turned into the biggest circuit in the world for dressage. I think we're now, as an organization, very focused on eventing and making that sort of part of that Olympic triad and just making sure that the sport gets the respect it deserves and these athletes get the prize money they deserve. So we're hopeful that we're going to continue to sort of work with the USEA and work with USEA and really try to make this a very, very high-profile event in the scheme of equestrian sport. So we're very, very excited about that. I want to thank Sharon Decker, who was actually the woman behind the curtain who made everything happen. She led a great team, worked with the USEA and others to make this event very special. So very honored to be a part of this and really honored that you placed a bet on us and very happy with the outcome.
And Robert, this, as Mark said, to kind of come off of that, this was a bit of a long shot bet for you guys. Can you talk about how the weekend went as you oversaw the process of all of this coming together?
Well, I'd like to also thank Diane and Rob and the rest of the USEA for placing the bet. It was obvious when we came here in May that the property was fantastic, and when we came back here again and saw the progress that was being made, the facility here actually over-delivered on all the promises that we got made. That never happens. So all the promises that were made, you usually try to discount a bit. So you come in here and you have a lot of newness going on. So you have all the riders. You're already anxious about to run cross country, even if you've already been in the facility 5 times. No one had ever been here before, so we had a level of trepidation that was understandable, from the going to how the jumps were going to ride, how the course was going to go, and I just couldn't be more happy. It was a big deal to get this done with one of the largest events in U.S. event history and a new place, and for us to be able to come out the backside of this successfully. Looking forward to next year.
And Allyn, this has become a staple for Adequan in the sport of eventing. Can you talk about your guys' involvement with the Gold Cup Series and this week as a whole?
Yes, thank you, Carly. So, a little over 11 years ago, we started our sponsorship with the United States Eventing Association. And with that came this vision to start up a Adequan Gold Cup Series, not knowing where it would go or how things would evolve. And it's been a winding road. Sometimes the valleys have been deep, the mountaintop experiences have been minimal at best. But I think today, this was one of the most amazing eventing experiences in this country. not that take anything away from the Rolex 4-star, but to have an environment like this where you have so many horses showing up, so many people excited about the level of play, great riders like Ryan and Doug and others that have showed up here. Mark Bellissimo and his vision for all of his properties is off the charts. He really has been an inspiration to me to continue to get our company to invest in the equestrian sport. And then you have people in the eventing world like Robert, we were talking about it earlier, he's been around for a long, long time, although you age well. And Rob, being the new CEO over the last few years, has taken on a big responsibility. But overall, as a sponsor of an event like this, at a place like this, I think we're really blessed. And through those blessings comes much joy. So Mark, thank you for all the joy you're bringing to the sport of this beautiful animal.
Just a quick comment with my dear friend Allyn. We've been working together for about 6 years, 7 years, and our relationship has grown, and he's made a financial commitment to all our disciplines, show jumping, dressage, at very high levels, and it's increased over time to his concern, because it's just getting bigger and bigger. But I think in many ways it's inspired, and I think the fundamental challenge we have with equestrian sport, and I've been sort of touting this in many different ways, is it's a sport that is misunderstood. And the bottom line is, I've been touting this for many months and years, is that there are 8 million people who will snow ski in the United States. There are 23 million people that will pick up a tennis racket. There's 25 million people who pick up a golf club. And there are 27 million people who ride a horse. Not many people understand that. And as you educate people around that issue and that opportunity, statistics, it's really centered around, there's a great opportunity for equestrian sport, as long as it is not elitist, as long as it's sort of focused on what the fundamental is, which is the love of horses and the love of people who can enjoy them, whether they're riding the carousel or Olympic caliber athletes. And I think in many ways our organization is committed to sort of making that transition to getting people like Coca-Cola, who has never been in that sport, to say, I want to invest in an event. And they sort of came to us and sharing those and sort of said, this venue's amazing. And we sort of understand and get that what the opportunity is here. So now what we have to do is, instead of being the stepchild of sport in America, we have to sort of tout the virtues of, there are a lot of people in this country who love horses, and if you market and sell to people who love horses, versus saying we want evangelists who love eventing or polo or jumping or dressage, you can make that transition. But it's a different thinking, it's a different mentality, and it has to transcend the way people at USEA, who I think really truly understand that transition. And I think USEF hopefully will begin to understand that transition. But if we can literally energize and organize the promotion of the sport and get great sponsors like Adequan to continue their commitment to this sport and discipline, and others to see the value of what a large population of people who love horses. And so what you see here is a place that really celebrates the horse, celebrates the athletes, and hopefully will turn eventing into a similar sort of hotbed, because we took show jumping in Wellington from $2 million in prize money to $9 million in 6 years. People don't understand that dimension that it takes. It takes people like Allyn to do that, and more sponsors. We have over 100 sponsors in Wellington, and there's very little. When you think about the risks that eventers take, think how hard they work. You see these people in the barns caring for their own horses, and really at a level I haven't seen in any of the sports. It's amazing, and they're a little bit of the stepchild of that Olympic trilogy. So, we're on a mission to change that, and we have the Eventer Showcase, which people in the blogs are sort of saying, I'm trying to dumb down eventing and turn it into, and that's absolutely not correct. The reality is this organization is committed to a transition of, let's demonstrate how great these athletes are, let's demonstrate how great these horses are. Let's expose it to a group of people who may want to buy horses for these guys. And we're seeing that. We said from the eventing demonstration, I think there's 5 or 6 new owners. And I think if you make that transition, we'll continue to have, make some experiments, we'll make mistakes along the way. But at the end of the day, our commitment is to having world-class, eventing horses mixed in with other types of competitions that give us an opportunity to get the Allyns of the world inspired. And I think we're well on our way to doing that, and I hope we get the help from the riders, because every time we've reached out to any of these riders, they're like all in, whether it's bartending for charity or whether it's doing demonstration events that no one's ever heard of, and riding through a tent. They're just always there, and I really enjoy and value and honored to be a part of this community.
Rob, we'll finish up with you. Can you touch on what this event means to the USEA? We've had a lot of riders, both professional, amateur, masters, come up here and chat with us this week, and it's a great group of people, and what this event to you guys as an organization means each year.
Yeah. Well, I want to say that first of all, this couldn't have been done without the work of the team that we have in place. Our staff, combined with the Tryon folks, beautifully. I think we're extremely happy with the product that was put forward. I would say that since the inception and dream of the AAC, the desire has been to make a true national championship for the sport. And I think there are very few people who could walk away from this week and not say that this was not a national championship for the sport. We had representation from all over the country. We had finishers from who are based in Pennsylvania, even though they're from other countries. Extremely proud of that fact. I'm always inspired by watching these guys finish, and at the same time, our juniors, our amateurs, when they complete, and the tears in their eyes, and the joy when they receive their awards, it's emotionally palpable. It's an amazing thing, and it's really why this is such a feel-good event. And beyond our amazing group of staff, I'd say that the volunteers, our volunteer stewards, were just out of this world. We had some folks from the Tryon Hunt and Riding Club locally who were just knocked the ball out of the ballpark. I'm exceedingly excited about the future of this facility. I know that we have an even greater future beyond what we put forward this year, and that includes an expansion of the cross-country course. And this was year one, and if it was this good on year one, I can't imagine how good it's going to be in the next year and then beyond. So extremely excited about that.
We'll open it up to you guys if you have any questions.
Ryan, how is that such a good year with both wins at Jersey and then out here? Are you thinking maybe he'll move up and do the 4-star next year? Or what's the plan for him?
Yeah, I'm planning on taking him to Fairhill 3-star in October, and if he runs around there feeling bulletproof, then we'll look at going 4-star next year. Yeah.
Is this your first AAC?
It is, yeah. Yeah.
What made you decide to make this as a point for your horses this year?
That's a good question. I wanted to come and support what Mark's doing here, so I brought 7 horses here, and I think that he's doing a great thing for our sport. We do struggle to get sponsors and owners, and I think he's going to make our lives much better quality in years to come.
Same question for you, Doug. Why did you decide?
Yeah, this, honestly, I grew up in New Jersey, right outside of Gladstone, lived there for 7 years or so prior to moving down here. We had sort of, Jess and I talked about going south. Her parents live in Nashville, mine in Jersey, and we kind of picked sort of the North Carolina region off the map, really. And one of the main driving factors was the fact that this park was coming. We're in a unique position because we do have sort of half straight jumpers and half event horses. We've got Baby Grand Prix jumping and then the guys here. And having this park here has been incredibly, it's just made a world of difference for us. And so certainly wanted to support it. And then, secondary to that, I think there's a huge benefit for these horses long term to be put in a big atmosphere, and I knew that this place would provide that. And and so that you know, hopefully down the road, over European 3-star, 4-star championship, whatever, that they're going to be better prepared for it. And so yeah, it's a multifaceted thing. And of course, prize money doesn't hurt. So.
Thank you guys very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.